sometimes I think of things and I think, I didn't say that. I didn't share that. I was buzzing around and I never shared it. I mean, I'm not here to prance around and look really weird on a clip. That's not what I'm doing. I want to just mention about. So it's something that Larry Christensen wrote way back. It's something like Transformation of the Mind, a book that he had, and I just found it as a really good illustration. He was talking about concrete forms, and he was talking about thoughts and how we are transformed. He's saying there are things that we can do. We can lay down tram lines. We can lay down forms, just like concrete forms have something which they're usually made of wood or something absolutely irrelevant. It doesn't really matter what they're made of because they're not going to be used at all. It's the inner form, the substance that's put within, which is the final object when you're creating a concrete form. And he was talking about that, setting our mind on the spirit. Sometimes we sort of setting our mind on these things, and it seems like we're kick-starting something and it feels a bit phony. But that's only because what we've been in is phony. And it becomes more and more apparent the more we set the mind on the spirit. My wife was talking this morning about critical thinking. Well, that's great, but as I said to you, you've got to have the foundational facts to work out from. And what we are disputing now more and more is that the facts that the media are coming out with, well, we were saying this last April, 14 months ago, was it 16 months ago? 18 months ago. We were saying that it's a load of rubbish. The facts that everyone's thinking out from are actually very, very dubious. And we just felt that immediately in our spirits and we started saying it. But sure enough, facts are coming back now. So critical thinking is only good as long as what you're thinking upon, the foundation is good. I said to Christine about, you can read all these facts about the World Health Organization, the United Nations. They put them on, they're all on their website. There's no disputing it. An M2 site is to counteract every single one of those wrong premises and wrong plans that United Nations have set up. And both are very big sites, and I haven't had time to wade through them, nor do I feel that's my particular goal. But people out there of that type, they should do that. But the whole thinking of the vaccines, the whole thinking upon which everything has been based, is culling the earth. Bill Gates' dad, he even set up Planned Parenthood for that purpose. Eugenics, cutting the population down out of the belief that we cannot sustain ourselves. Let's make a correction there. We cannot sustain pyramids with all the wastage of the layers that entails, and to keep those billionaires and trillionaires in the lavish lifestyle at the expense of all the rest of the population that they wish. That is correct. But that's because we're going to change. We're not going to live that way anymore. We're moving into a tabernacles world. And this is the time of the Feast of Tabernacles, as it happens. Right now, whether Jews get hold of this or not, whether anybody on the planet gets hold of this or not, it just happens to be the Feast of Tabernacles right now and the Day of Atonement. So, but the foundation on which the whole thing has been built, because we're saying that this was a planned pandemic according to the report that was drawn up for Rockefeller, which he paid for, called Lockstep. In fact, they're all about rolling it out through Jon Snow. It's televised, it's on YouTube in 2009 for H1N1. So we're not talking conspiracy theories. There's nothing theoretical about this. It's all written down. So But that's not the issue. So the foundation of our thinking has to be transformed, and it has to be on a spirit basis. And through training our minds for years on end, or in the acceleration of the Spirit and in the body of Christ, months on end, as the disciples found it with Jesus, it was 42 months. You can hear in the end, when people are speaking, whether it is undertowed by Spirit, whether it has the ring of truth, eternal truth, what is eternally. When Jesus spoke to Peter and said, I will make you a fisher of men, he didn't just think up out of his head. He saw it in the Spirit looking at Peter. He's declaring what is eternally in the Spirit. He had a snapshot of heaven with Peter as the fisher of men. And then later, the one with the keys who would open the door to the new creation. He saw that. And he spoke it forth on Peter. And that's what we do. That's all prophets are. They are speaking what is. And you've got to see it. If you see it, sense it, and you speak it out. So, yeah. So what is this about concrete forms? I really want to get into, of course, already the 6th minute. But we'll stop there, and I'll do another one.